Well, greetings, people of the internet. Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. You know, I forgot all about my Synology NAS. Yeah, how is that even possible? How could I have forgotten all about my Synology NAS? Well, because it just works, okay? I buy Synology products. I recommend Synology products to my clients. I use Synology products at Unky Joe's Playhouse in my labs. They're just so versatile. Now, a lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people will say, well, Joe, it's underpowered, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. They force you to use hard drives you don't want to and all this other stuff. And I find if you do a little bit of research, you find the opposite is true. Well, except for the underpowered part, they are underpowered. But as far as them forcing you to use hard drives, not so much on the commercial grade units. I mean, the consumer grade units, I should say. I can put whatever hard drives in here I want. And the value of Synology is in their software, their operating system combined with their hardware. So I don't mind paying a premium price for that. Can I hear the Apple users give me an amen? Right? You pay for good quality product. Anyway, I digress. The point of this video today is that I've neglected my Synology NAS, and I had a nasty error pop up. I'm not going to show you what that was. I'm going to tell you what it was, and that was that I was running out of hard drive space. So, time to order new hard drives. Alright, so we're going rogue. We're going handheld today, and forgive the sun, that's the SR650V2 is hard at work with a project. Then we have the SC450, also from Lenovo. Thank you, Lenovo. It's getting ready to do some work too. And then I've got a 24-port PoE switch on there, but that's not important. That's not what is important. As you can see, I've got stuff strewn out here, but my rack is in relatively good shape. This is what we're going to be working on today. Now, about 3 weeks ago, I purchased a new old stock 6 terabyte Seagate hard drive and took this from 4 drives to 5. Now I'm going to take it from 5 drives to 6. Now this is in Synology Hybrid RAID, just SHR, not SHR2. So once I add this other 6 terabyte drive, it'll give me about 20 terabytes of total storage. It looks messy from afar, but it's actually, I use very short cables. It's very neat wiring. Temperature is nice and warm. So there's a 1 gig switch on the top, 24 port non-PoE, and there's a 10 gig switch underneath that. And then there's my Synology FS1018, and all the other stuff in my rack. There's another PoE switch. But what we're talking about today is this thing right here. I just got this in from eBay. What I'm doing is I'm buying these drives. I'm getting them for about $70 a piece. Now these are the enterprise capacity 3.5 inch version 4 SCD drives. So SCDs, I think it's just a secure encryption layer on these drives, and you can turn it on or off, and it hasn't been activated. As far as I know, this drive has 0 hours on it. It's new old stock, so it's been sitting in a warehouse somewhere while they try to find a new home for it. So I've had it in the server room for 24 hours now so it can acclimate, because it was out in the cold for quite a while. So I'm going to move it over here to the bench. Okay, so here it is. So now the next thing I need to do is I need to say hello to the solar. Working hard. In fact, the solar is powering everything. Everything back there and everything up here. Anyway, so come back to my desktop. You'll see that Synology NAS is still running. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that down. And always remember where you keep the key for your Synology NAS, because you're going to need that if you're like me and you lock it. So It looks like the NAS is completely powered off now. It is. So it's time to put the chingamadera into the chingamadera and press it. Oh! I'll put the key up there for now. And we'll just slide this bad boy out. Let's see, is it dirty up inside there? No. I got a fairly clean mouse house. So here we go. Yeah, so these are the toolless caddies. So I shouldn't need anything to allow me to install this. So we'll just make some room here and we'll set up the old camera so you can watch me hard at work or hardly working. Alright. So I'm going to take my flotchies out here. Turn that around there. Little rails just pull off the sides. Pull off of that side. And then, so, you know, the plug for the hard drive goes to the back of the tray. It's not that difficult. And then you want to get your holes lined up here and on each side, and then you just pop the little stays back in place. Same way with this side. Pop them back in place. Whew, okay. And you pick up the camera. And you, here we go. And you grab the drive very carefully. You don't want to drop, even though it's only a $70 hard drive, you don't want to drop it. And I've got to flip mine sideways. Put it in there. He's living on the edge. Alright, so there we go. It's in. There we go. Now she's locked. Okay, so press the power button. There she goes. She'll fire back up here eventually, and when she does, oh, go put the key back in your super secret place. Only you know where it is. Alright, so we'll let that boot up and put our key back. And that's one nice thing about that Synology. So as long as I don't have any files open on that Synology, I can shut it down on my network and it's not real critical. Alright, so now I'm rebooted, turned it on, inserted the drive. Now it's very important before we get any of this started that I tell you something. Make sure you get a backup of all your data. This is a very disk intensive task we're about to submit to this machine, and it's going to take quite a long time, and it's going to be very intense on your hard drive. Just to put it not too fine a term, it's going to beat the hell out of your hard drive. So you want to make sure you got a good backup of your data before you begin this, and I'm trying to do this from memory. I think we go into Storage Manager here, and let's see, can't do anything here. Storage Pool 1. How about if I, oh, let's see here. Is it over here? Is it over here? No. Is it over here? Nope. Is it here? Nope. Or is it here? Come over here. Okay. Manage available drive. Okay, choose how to use your available drives. I want to add drive for storage expansion. Storage pool 1, next. Drive number 6, Next, so that'll give us estimated capacity of 27.3 terabyte. Next. The drive is not on the Synology compatibility list. Yeah, who cares? Continue. Apply. And OK. And now this is going to take a very, very long time, I think. Yes, it is. Because it has to go out and initialize the drive, and it has to add it to the pool. So, initializing goes pretty quick. And you notice we were even having a warning that we were running out of hard drive space on this volume. We only had 16.9 of 20 terabytes in use. So that's why I had to do these in pairs. You know, the whole reason I like Synology over all these other NAS solutions is you can add dissimilar size drives and have them all work together. That way you can buy the drives as you can afford them. Well, you notice I've kept all 6 terabyte drives, so if I'd have done the same thing with TrueNAS, it would have worked out the same way. I would have had a little less storage space, but you know, I'd have had ZFS, so there's that. So you want to keep that in mind. But this is one of the reasons I use the Synology NAS, is because of the fact that I can just add whatever the frickin' drive I want to this unit, whatever size I want, as long as it's, you know, bigger or larger than what I have in there. All right, so you see it's giving us an estimate of 2 days, 11 hours. So let's figure adding this drive is going to take 3 days, and I'll come back when this changes, if it increases or decreases. So if I close it here, it should tell me. Now it doesn't tell me squat on the login page. It just tells me I'm now in the warning status. So that NAS is going to get a hell of a workout for over the next couple of days. We'll just let it run, and I'll come back and show you the finished product when we're all done.
2,000 years later.
So here we are. Actually, it only took 2 days. So I popped the drive in, added it to the pool, and if we come here under Storage Manager now, we'll see that the storage pool is fine. It sees all 6 hard drives, and if we see it, it's healthy. And if we go to the health info, we'll see that the drive has been on a total of 43 hours now. So it took about a day and a half to add this drive to the pool of drives in the Synology hybrid RAID. It's one of the reasons I so like Synology, because the way they handle their drives, that's one of the reasons. But anyway, it's in there. I'm able to save data to it now. As you can see, we're out of the warning stage. We now have 17 terabyte, I guess, free out of 26 terabyte. I don't know. Or we have 17 terabyte in use. That's about as clear as muddy water. I don't know. I'll find out. Looks like I have some packages that need to be updated. Yeah, there's quite a few. So I'll go ahead and do these now that I've got the whatchamacallit, the new hard drive installed. And hopefully these drives will last as long as the other drives have lasted. All right, so we are over on my Synology NAS, my DS1621 Plus. And since I now have those new hard drives in there, the 6 terabytes that I just added, I can now back up my virtual machines by using, I tell people all the time, they're like, why do you spend money on a Synology NAS? And I'm about to tell you why. Because of the excellent software that Synology provides. Yeah, their units are underpowered. Yeah, they're being a little pushy with their enterprise units requiring specialized drives, but it's nothing new. It's not a deal killer for me. This is one of those pieces of outstanding software, is Active Backup for Business. Let me tell you from experience, this kind of software used to cost thousands of dollars if you were running an Active Directory network to back up all your servers and workstations and HyperV and virtual, all that stuff. This software was easily a couple of grand. Now, it's included with the Synology NAS. So this is one of the many reasons that I use Synology for both my clients and for myself. So, and one of the nice things is it'll do Hyper-V or it'll do VMware. Now, I don't use VMware. Sometimes I do in my labs, but I don't have any right now. But I do use Hyper-V. The only drawback to this is it won't do Proxmox, but we'll have a Proxmox solution in the near future. So all you have to do over here, you come over here to the virtual machine and you manage your hypervisor. I've already created a hypervisor link, but I'll just show you what it looks like. So we'll come under here, under Manage Hypervisor, and we'll go to Edit the one I created. So Hyper-V is already loaded on this machine. This is Prometheus. All you need to know is the IP address. We're going to set it up through I guess we could try to change this to HTTPS. I think I will. And then you need an account with domain credentials. So UJP/Adama and then my password and then apply. And then basically that'll give you a connection to the server. You can see it says it's online. And then you'll see a list of all of your virtual machines here come up. And then it's not, the one thing I got to tell to Synology is you can make the software a little easier to understand. Because you would just think you would come here and do a backup, like backup, right? No, they got this create task. You can't right click on it and do anything, and you can't click the down arrow on it and do anything, except see that there's no task, and that gives you some clue. Oh, okay, I need to create a task in order to do a backup. So I want to back up this Unky Joe's Playhouse DC01. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight it and create a task. And then I'm just going to call it DC01. Okay? I'll know what it is. I'm going to click on Next. I'm going to back it up onto the active backup for business folder. I'm not going to compress. I'm not going to encrypt. Don't need to right now. But I am going to make this application an application-aware backup. And make sure changed block tracking is enabled too. So, and we can have up to 2 backups going at one time on here. Now, there are some advanced settings here, but I'm not going to go into them. I'm just going to click on Next. It'll go out and do its checks and make sure it can back up that machine. And it has. It has told you it was successful. Click on Next. Then you can schedule it for a manual backup or you can schedule it for later. I'm going to do a manual. Next, and if you wanted to keep versions, say you want to keep up to 5 versions, you could click that box here and tell it how many versions and do it either by days or advanced or number of, let's say we'll keep two versions. Click on Next. And then admin already has access, but I'm logged in as Adama and I want that person to have access as well. Let's click on Next. Double check the task summary. Click on Done. Backup now, yes. And away it goes. It'll get started here in a second. And then that machine is up and running in a virtual. All these machines that I've backed up are running already. So you can do the backups while the machines are running. And I have, speaking from experience, restored a machine off of here to another physical server to its Hyper-V. Works like a charm. But there you go. That's how I back up my Hyper-V machines onto my Synology NAS, and then this backup will then get onto my archive machines. And the next time I do a backup, I'll show you how I do that as well. So there you go. I did this over a time span of about a month, I guess. I ordered one drive last month, put it in, let the system regenerate the parity or regenerate the array. And then did it again. So not only have I stressed my system once, I've stressed it now twice by adding a new drive. And this procedure takes a while. Be prepared. It can take days. And before you do any of this, RAID is not a backup. Make sure you have backups of all your data, because if there was a power failure in the middle of this, or you had a piece of software hung up on you, whatever, you could in theory corrupt your entire array and make it very difficult to access the data on it. So make sure you have backups. Now the reason I needed more space on this was to, of course, host my HyperV backups. Because what I want to do is make this the main unit that backs up my HyperV, and then I will then back up these HyperV images to my archive servers. So you notice I had a video here a few weeks ago on creating my archive servers, my backup servers. I've done that, so now I need to do the same with HyperV. I run a lot of virtual machines, and currently right now my go-to hypervisor is HyperV, so I need a place to be able to back them all up onto. So with increasing the storage space on my Synology NAS, I can now put it to that use, and it's a good use. So there you go, folks. We hope you find the video entertaining and informative. As always, please give us a thumbs up down below if you liked the video. Leave your comments in the comments section. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and click that little notification button to be notified of new videos when they come out. We appreciate all your patronage. Donate if you're so inclined. It helps keep the lights on around here. PayPal, Patreon, the YouTube join function, or become a YouTube premium member and just avoid all the hassle and help all the creators out. That'd be your best bet, right? Please don't forget to come back and see us again, and don't forget we'll see all of you on the other side.